Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of his ship New Horizon and looked at the strange aliens in front of him. 3 months had passed since first contact with the Zephyrian Trade Coalition. The blue-skinned aliens had traveled far to meet humans. They brought gifts and maps of the galaxy. "Your people live here," said Keth Val, the lead alien diplomat. He pointed to a tiny dot on their huge star map. "This is the very edge of known space. Past your home lies nothing but darkness." Dr. Lisa Harper moved closer to study the map. She was the ship's expert on alien life. What she saw made her eyes grow wide. Every star chart from every alien race showed the same thing. Human space was marked as the final frontier. Beyond Earth's solar system, the maps showed only empty black space with scary warnings written in alien languages. Commander Rick Adams understood first. He was Morrison's right-hand man and good at seeing the big picture. "Captain," he whispered, "they're all scared to go past us. Look at how they mark our territory on every map." The truth came out slowly over the next few weeks. The aliens were nervous around humans. They asked strange questions about Earth's defenses and how many ships humans had. During a meeting with the lizard-like Corvani Empire, their ambassador made a mistake. "Your species guards the Great Boundary," said Ambassador Velteran. His reptile eyes went wide when he realized what he had said. "I mean, you will understand your role in time." Dr. Harper would not let it go. She asked question after question until the aliens finally told them the truth. For 1,000 years, every ship that tried to explore past human space had vanished. No messages, no survivors, no wreckage ever found. Entire fleets would cross into the dark regions and simply disappear forever. "But we don't guard anything," Captain Morrison said. "We didn't even know you existed until 3 months ago." The aliens looked at each other with fear in their eyes. "Maybe your people don't need to try," Keth Val said carefully. "Some walls build themselves." That night, Morrison called his senior officers to an emergency meeting. Intelligence Officer Amy Watson had been listening to alien radio signals. She brought bad news. "Captain, I've been watching their ship movements. Every alien government has huge military fleets positioned just outside our solar system. They're not planning to attack us, they're hiding behind us." The crew sat in shocked silence. Amy continued her report. "Sir, it gets worse. I found records going back centuries. Any alien ship that gets too close to the dark space beyond Earth just stops existing. The aliens think something lives out there, something that hunts and kills anyone who gets too close." Morrison felt his stomach drop. "Are you saying we're the only thing standing between the aliens and some kind of monster?" "That's exactly what I'm saying, sir." Dr. Harper pulled up more star charts on her computer. "Look at this pattern," she said. "Every major alien civilization has built their borders right up to our space, but never past it. They're using human territory as a shield wall." The implications were staggering. Humanity had just discovered they were not alone in the universe, and they had immediately learned they were the galaxy's accidental bodyguards. Something terrible lived in the darkness beyond known space, and only Earth stood between it and the rest of civilization. Commander Adams studied the tactical situation. "We have maybe 30 ships in our entire space fleet. The aliens have thousands. But they won't go past our territory because they're too scared." "Scared of what?" Morrison asked. Amy Watson brought up her intelligence files. "The aliens call it different names in different languages, the Devourers, the Silence, the End of all things. But they all agree on one thing. It lives in the dark space past our solar system and it kills anyone who gets too close." Dr. Harper made the connection first. "Unless you're human," she said quietly. "We've sent research ships and exploration vessels into that dark space dozens of times. They always come back safely." Morrison looked around the room at his officers. They were all thinking the same thing. Humanity was immune to whatever killed alien ships in the void. They were the only species that could safely travel in the forbidden regions, and the aliens knew it. "They're not here to trade with us," Morrison realized. "They're here to use us." The galaxy's map ended at human space for a very good reason. Past Earth lay something ancient and hungry that had been killing alien explorers for 1,000 years. But humans could go there safely. The aliens had come to Earth not as equals, but as customers looking to hire the only species brave or stupid enough to face the darkness. Morrison looked out at the stars and wondered what horrors waited in the black space beyond. Whatever it was, humanity had just become the galaxy's first and last line of defense against it. 3 weeks after learning the truth about humanity's role as galactic shields, Captain Morrison got an urgent message from Earth. Admiral Helen Carter appeared on his communication screen. Her face showed excitement mixed with disbelief. "Jake, we studied all the information your team sent us. Earth Command has made a big decision that will change everything for humans." Dr. Harper and Commander Adams came to listen as the Admiral continued. "If these aliens want to use us as their protection against whatever lives in the dark space, then they need to pay us for our services." The plan was simple but bold. Earth would claim control over a huge area of space that the aliens called the border zone. This zone would stretch 50 light-years past human territory in every direction. Any alien ship that wanted to travel through this zone would need special permits. They would have to pay fees and let humans inspect their ships. Lieutenant Ben Murphy worked on the ship's communications. He looked worried. "Admiral, we only have about 30 ships in our entire space fleet. How can we enforce rules over such a huge area?" Admiral Carter smiled. "We don't need a big military, Ben. We have something much better than weapons. We have their fear." The plan used humanity's strange ability to survive in the dark space where alien ships vanished. Human ships could travel safely through the forbidden regions while alien vessels disappeared without a trace. Earth would use this special advantage to control who could access the mysterious areas beyond known space. Commander Adams understood the brilliant strategy right away. "We become like border guards for the entire galaxy." Within 6 months, Earth created the Sol Border Authority. Captain Morrison got promoted to Director of Frontier Operations. Dr. Harper became Chief Alien Expert. Their new job was to manage humanity's role as the galaxy's gatekeepers. The first test came when blue-skinned Zephyrian aliens asked permission to start mining operations in the border zone. Engineer Tony Clark joined the project to calculate costs. They need a travel permit, territory use license, safety inspection, dangerous region insurance, and we get 20% of anything valuable they find, Clark announced. Total cost: 12 million galactic credits. The aliens paid the money without complaining. Word about humanity's new business spread fast through alien space. Species that had spent hundreds of years arguing about whether to risk trips beyond safe territory suddenly had a new option. It was expensive, but it was safe. Navigator Sue Patterson worked from the newly built Border Station Alpha. She tracked the results. "We're handling 50 permit requests every day," she told Morrison. "Aliens wanting escort services have to wait 3 months to get their turn." The most profitable service turned out to be something Marketing Director Pete Johnson called void tourism. Rich aliens would pay huge amounts of money for the chance to visit the forbidden regions under human protection. They wanted bragging rights and exotic materials from unexplored worlds. Border Agent Lucy Green managed the tourist programs. "We have alien billionaires paying 50 million credits each just to take a photo next to a planet in the dark zone," she reported. Some of them collect rocks and plants to show their friends back home. Within 18 months, the money from border fees was funding the biggest expansion of human space technology in history. New ships, space stations, and colonies appeared throughout the region. Earth had turned its dangerous position into economic success. The aliens seemed happy to pay. Communication Director Steve Brown monitored alien news networks. "They're calling us the guardian species in their broadcasts," he told Morrison. "Some alien religions are starting to worship humans as protective gods." Trade Minister Beth Foster worked from her office on Luna. She tracked the financial results. "We're making more money in 1 month than the entire planet used to make in a year," she said. "The alien governments are competing to offer us better deals." Border Marshal Frank Lee established security procedures. "We inspect every alien ship that wants to cross into the dark zones," he explained. "We also escort them the entire way to make sure they don't disappear like the others did." The business model was perfect. Aliens got safe access to regions they could never explore alone. Humans got rich while providing a service only they could offer. Everyone won. Dr. Harper studied the psychological effects on alien populations. They're becoming dependent on us, she observed. Some alien species have stopped trying to develop better technology because they know they can just hire humans to do dangerous exploration for them. Morrison looked out at the growing fleet of human ships and alien customers. In less than 2 years, humanity had gone from unknown primitives to the most important species in the galaxy. They controlled access to the greatest mystery known, space. But sometimes, late at night, Morrison wondered what would happen if the aliens ever discovered the real reason why humans could survive where others could not. Success brought problems. Not every alien civilization liked paying humans to access the dark regions of space. The first real challenge came from the Thrakari hegemony. These warlike aliens had grown tired of human fees and wanted to find their own way through the forbidden zones. Admiral Kate Phillips now commanded the expanded human border fleet. She received a threatening message during a routine patrol near Station Gamma. Commander Zarketh of the Thrakari War Fleet delivered his ultimatum with cold anger. Your weak species has no right to control space you cannot defend. We will make our own passage routes through the void regions. We do not need human permission. Security Chief Dan Martinez had been watching Thrakari military movements for months. His spy network brought him detailed reports. Admiral, they've built their biggest fleet in 200 years, 15,000 warships. They're planning to force their way through. Phillips called her senior staff to review the situation. Lieutenant Commander Carol Watson looked at the numbers and shook her head. We have maybe 200 ships in the entire border region. If they attack us directly, we're finished. But Director Morrison, now working from the massive Border Command, Center orbiting Earth, had prepared for this kind of challenge. His response would not use military force. Instead, he would use economic warfare. Open channels to every alien government in the galaxy, Morrison told Communications Director Steve Brown. It's time to show them what happens when someone challenges human authority. Morrison's message was simple but devastating. He announced that all transit fees through human space would triple immediately. Any civilization that supported attempts to bypass human territory would be permanently banned from accessing the void regions forever. The galactic community reacted quickly and harshly. Within 2 days, every major trading alliance imposed economic sanctions on the Thrakari hegemony. The message was clear: challenge humanity's border monopoly and lose access to the most valuable, unexplored territory in the galaxy. Trade Minister Beth Foster watched the results from her office on Luna. The Thrakari Stock Exchange collapsed completely, she reported. Their trading partners are canceling contracts so fast that our computers can't track them all. The economic pressure was enormous. Thrakari corporations lost trillions of credits in canceled deals. Their government faced rebellion from angry business leaders who blamed the military for destroying their economy. But the proud Thrakari military pressed forward anyway. Commander Zarketh was determined to prove that humans had no special protection against the dangers of the void regions. He believed human immunity was just propaganda designed to scare other species. We will show the galaxy that humans are frauds, Zarketh announced to his fleet. The void regions hold no special terrors. We will cross them safely and expose the human lies. The Thrakari expedition launched on a Tuesday morning. 500 of their best warships, equipped with the most advanced technology in their arsenal, crossed into the forbidden space beyond human territory. They broadcast their progress to prove they could succeed where others had failed. Border Agent Lucy Green monitored the Thrakari fleet from her post at the edge of human space. Her instruments tracked their ships as they moved deeper into the dark regions. For the first few hours, everything seemed normal. Then the signals started to fade. Their communications are getting weaker, Lucy reported to her supervisor. It's like something is interfering with their transmissions. By Wednesday, only half the Thrakari ships were still responding to radio calls. By Thursday, that number had dropped to a dozen vessels. The remaining ships were reporting strange phenomena: equipment failures, crew members acting oddly, and shadows moving outside their ships where no shadows should exist. On Friday morning, The last Thrakari transmission was received. Commander. Zarketh's voice sounded terrified and confused. Something is hunting us. Our ships are disappearing one by one. We cannot see what is taking them. Request immediate assistance from any. The transmission cut off mid-sentence. All 500 Thrakari warships had vanished without a trace. Search and rescue teams from 3 different alien governments searched the area where the Thrakari fleet had disappeared. They found nothing. No wreckage, no escape pods, no distress beacons. The ships had simply stopped existing the moment they ventured too far from human protection. Dr. Harper studied the disappearance patterns from her research station. It's always the same, she told Morrison. Ships enter the void regions and gradually lose contact. First, their long-range communications fail, then their short-range systems, then silence forever. The Thrakari government panicked. Without their fleet, they faced invasion from traditional enemies who sensed weakness. Within a week, they begged Earth for peace, agreeing to pay massive fines for violating human territorial claims. More importantly, the Thrakari fate served as perfect advertising for human services. Every alien government now had recent proof of what happened to ships that tried to cross the void regions without human protection. Applications for human escort services increased by 400% overnight. Border stations had to expand their facilities to handle the flood of new customers. Navigator Sue Patterson couldn't keep up with the demand. We're booked solid for the next 2 years, she reported. Some alien governments are offering to pay double rates just to move up on the waiting list. The Thrakari disaster also revealed something else important. Whatever lived in the void regions was not random in its attacks. It specifically targeted alien technology and life forms, while leaving human ships completely alone. Security Chief Dan Martinez analyzed the patterns. It's like the thing out there can tell the difference between human and alien, he said. Our ships can fly right through areas where alien vessels get destroyed instantly. Morrison stood on the observation deck of Border Command, watching another convoy of paying alien customers prepare for their journey into the dark regions. The Thrakari challenge had only made humanity stronger and richer. But deep in his mind, Morrison wondered about the intelligence behind the attacks in the void. Whatever was out there seemed to understand exactly which ships were human and which were not. It protected human vessels while hunting aliens with ruthless efficiency. That suggested something far more disturbing than a simple cosmic hazard. It suggested something that knew about humans and had reasons for keeping them safe while destroying everyone else. 5 years after humanity became the galaxy's cosmic toll collectors, the real truth finally came to light. Dr. Harper, now director of alien research, made the discovery while studying patterns in the void region disappearances. Jake, you need to see this immediately, she called Morrison to her laboratory aboard the massive research station orbiting Pluto. Her analysis had uncovered something shocking in the galactic databases. The pattern was hidden but clear once you knew what to look for. Every species that had vanished in the void regions shared one important characteristic. They all used what galactic civilizations called harmonized technology. Their ships, computers, and communication systems operated on connected quantum frequencies that created galaxy-wide networks. Human technology was completely different. Primitive by galactic standards, human ships used isolated systems with no quantum connections to the broader galactic network. What other species saw as backward technology was actually humanity's salvation. Research assistant Greg Adams had been studying this phenomenon for months. It's like a cosmic security system, he explained to the senior staff. Something in the void region specifically hunts harmonized technology. Our ships survive because we're too primitive to be detected. The revelation led Dr. Harper to a terrifying conclusion. The void regions weren't empty space. They were a quarantine zone. Something ancient and hostile lived beyond the galactic frontier. Something that hunted civilizations advanced enough to pose a real threat. Chief Engineer Matt Torres had been experimenting with modified human technology. If we upgrade our systems to match galactic standards, we become targets, he warned. Our immunity only works as long as we stay technologically backward. Morrison faced an impossible choice. Revealing the truth would destroy humanity's profitable border business and expose the galaxy to a threat it couldn't handle. Keeping the secret meant forcing his own species to remain primitive forever. The decision came during an emergency session of the Earth Council. President Lisa Johnson listened to all the evidence, then delivered her verdict with cold practicality. We keep the secret. Humanity becomes the galaxy's permanent guardian, and we make sure we get paid very well for the service. The sole border authority received unlimited funding and authority to manage the galactic frontier. New protocols were established to ensure human technology remained appropriately primitive, while still advancing enough to maintain their protective role. Border Marshal Frank Lee created the new security measures. Any human ship venturing into the void regions would use specially designed isolation systems. No quantum harmonization, no galactic networking, no technology that might attract the attention of whatever waited in the darkness. Dr. Harper discovered more disturbing facts as her research continued. The thing in the void isn't just hunting. Randomly, she told Morrison during a private meeting. It's specifically targeting species that might threaten it. The more advanced their technology, the faster they disappear. The pattern was clear in the historical records. The most technologically advanced alien civilizations had been the first to vanish when they tried to explore the void regions. Less advanced species lasted longer before disappearing. Only humans with their primitive isolated systems could survive indefinitely. Intelligence officer Amy Watson found evidence that made the situation even worse. I've been analyzing alien historical records, she reported. Every few thousand years, something emerges from the void regions and destroys entire civilizations. But only the most advanced ones. The primitive species get left alone. Morrison realized the full scope of what they were dealing with. It's not just hunting ships that enter its territory. It's preparing for something bigger. The entity in the void was using the disappearances to study galactic civilization. It was learning about alien technology, finding weaknesses, planning for a future invasion. The only thing stopping it was the buffer zone of human space. Border. Agent Lucy Green made another disturbing discovery during her monitoring duties. Sir, I've been tracking the disappearance patterns more carefully. The entity isn't just destroying alien ships. It's taking them apart piece by piece, like it's studying how they work. 10 years later, the system had achieved a delicate balance. Alien civilizations paid billions in fees for safe access to the void regions under human protection. Humanity grew wealthy and powerful while serving as the galaxy's shield against ancient horrors. Director Morrison, now in his 70s, stood on the observation deck of Border Command watching another convoy of alien ships prepare for escort duty. Communications Officer Nancy Bell approached with the daily reports. 17 expeditions scheduled for tomorrow, sir. The Corvani Empire is requesting exclusive access to Sector 47B. They're offering 50 billion credits for a 6-month lease. Morrison nodded, thinking about the vast darkness beyond the frontier. Somewhere out there, something older than civilization waited for the galaxy to make the mistake of advancing too far. It had been patient for thousands of years, slowly learning about each species that dared to enter its domain. The entity seemed to understand that humans were different. Maybe it recognized their primitive technology as harmless. Maybe it saw them as useful guards to keep more dangerous species away. Or maybe it was just waiting for the right moment to reveal its true intentions. Trade Minister Beth Foster brought Morrison the latest financial reports. Human space now controls 60% of all galactic trade, she said. We're the richest species in known space, and we got there by staying primitive. Morrison looked out at the growing fleet of human ships and alien customers. In 10 years, humanity had transformed from unknown primitives to the most important species in the galaxy. They controlled access to the greatest mystery in known space and had grown powerful beyond their wildest dreams. But the price of that power was eternal vigilance. Humanity could never advance too far technologically. They could never let their guard down. They had to remain the galaxy's primitive guardians forever, standing between civilization and whatever ancient horror waited in the void. The galaxy's map ended at human space for a very good reason. Past Earth lay something that had been hunting advanced civilizations for millions of years. As long as humans remained backward enough to avoid detection, they could protect everyone else from a threat beyond imagination. Trespassers in the void regions continued to pay the ultimate price, but the real cost of keeping the galaxy safe was paid by humanity alone. They had traded their technological future for the survival of all intelligent life. Morrison watched the stars and wondered how long they could maintain the balance. How long before the entity in the void grew tired of waiting? How long before it decided that even primitive humans posed too much of a threat? The answers lay somewhere in the darkness beyond the frontier, where ancient things waited with infinite patience for their moment to strike.